It's that time again where we're meeting with women, those that are the Greater Haralson Chamber of Commerce. And this segment I was very excited about because this almost feels like my family. I work with these ladies quite often, and I'm excited to kind of hear their story, what the challenges they've had, who inspires them. So we have Antonia Greenhaw with PMG. We have Angie Luttrell with South Realty. So Tara, you can start asking some questions.
Sure. Thanks, ladies. Antonia, tell us a little bit about yourself and your business.
So we started PMG 17 years ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And we were really just three girls trying to make a paycheck. We'd been working at a bank, doing mortgages, and we approached each other. Approached each other about opening our own mortgage company, and so Felicia and I have been best friends since birth. Like, I've known her since she was born, because I'm older, just by like a month, so don't get no craziness on me. And then Wendy came into the picture, and so we opened our business, and we wanted to make sure that we could control all aspects of it on the front end. That was the main thing, because we wanted to make sure, like, Wendy answers the phone, and she's an owner. For a long time, people didn't know she was an owner, but we wanted an owner answering the phone because that's the first contact we get with somebody. So that was the dynamics that we started until this day, and 17 years later, Wendy Cleghorn answers the phone. And I'm more of the face outside of the business, I guess, because I do the short style. And Felicia is the workhorse. I mean, she's been always like a master originator. So, and we pull together. And we always say between the three of us, we have one brain. So,
I love that. I love it. Angie, tell us a little bit about yourself and your business.
Well, my business is pretty new. I got into real estate just almost 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, and I knew from the beginning I wanted to open my own brokerage because I had been a business owner previously and just kind of knew as soon as I could that I would. And so I opened my own brokerage up in August of last year. And so far we've added 3 agents, and so there's 4 of us there now.
A new office.
Yes,
Yeah.
a new office.
Yeah.
We just moved in a new office in February.
What inspired you to start this business, Antonia?
well, I said earlier, 3 women's in a paycheck, because everybody comes to work to get paid. That's when we come to work. But owning a company and being able to control the work environment, and knowing that your asset is your person next to you, or people that and so we've always wanted to invest in people and give back to our community. And so really, I think the reason that we were inspired was monetary, because we got to make a paycheck, but also to be the best we could be. Like, I wanted to be the best Antonia I could be, and I can remember thinking, well, I can't do that here, but I can do it with my own company and with my own partners, so we can be the best Antonias, or the best Felicias, or the best Angies, or the best Renees that we can be. And I think that's where you shine, is being a woman, because we can be the best we can be if we can control the atmosphere.
I love it. I love it. And so, Angie, I'm going to jump to you with a little bit of a different question. And I know we talked earlier and you've had a few businesses. So just talk to us a little bit about starting a business for the first time. I know a lot of times it sounds wonderful until you go through the process, and it is a little scary. And so just walk us quickly through kind of what it was like for you, if you want to talk about the brokerage, or if there's something else that you've experienced. But as far as starting a business, what was that like?
Well, it was very scary, and there was a lot of stuff that you don't think about once you get started into it, because when you're at another brokerage, you have an office manager and you have a lot of admin people, and currently I am the janitor, the office manager,
I get it.
accountant,
All the hats.
web designer, like you name it.
Marketing specialist.
I have you too.
Therapist.
Yes. So it was just a lot, but I looking back, it's so worth it, and I think a lot of people may not jump into that because of it, the being scary, but the scary has also just had such great benefits. I am absolutely loving it and enjoying it and learning, and I would like to say, if it's okay now, to say that starting out as a broker, I didn't have any idea. It was a whole different ball game, and this lady right here
You're gonna cry.
is a broker, and in this business, sometimes people do not want to help you. And she has been absolutely amazing. Like, I
Thank
call
you.
her with questions, and I would just like to say, being another woman in business and this woman here in business, not one time has she ever not helped me or, you know, ignored my calls, or, you know, we've even laughed late at night. And I, you know, I just want to say thank her.
Thank you. I
too,
appreciate that.
Renee.
Well, I going back to that, I have two things to say. Antonia, you were the first person I ever voiced out loud that I wanted to own my own business. And that's a scary thought. And once it came out of my mouth, it was like, okay, you didn't say I was crazy.
No.
You told me to go for it and run with it. And you put a check mark by my dream. So thank you for that. And you, I wanted to pour back into you because it's hard being a female and owning your own business. It's not a secret to what we do. There's room for everybody. And I did not want to be that person who, if you put yourself out there to ask a question, I didn't want to make you feel uncomfortable with asking it, because I tell everybody, if you don't know the answer, it's not a stupid question. And I did not want to squish any of your excitement of opening your own business. So that's part of why I did it. So I just feel like women need to help women. We're so bad about being catty sometimes, and the world will just go around lots better if we have that mindset of helping each other.
But I will say, I think in this setting, I have found dealing with other women-owned businesses, and real estate is a woman majority business.
It's dominant for
It's-
sure.
Yeah, especially in this area, that there's a difference there. And, you know, one could say y'all are competitors, but then one y'all could say we're partners too, because, I mean, you could be on the same transaction. So I think it is amazing. And, you know, I can't say for everywhere, but I can say for the West Georgia area, you know, it's just a family. It really is just a family, and it's just a wonderful thing to be a part of. And then going back to piggybacking what you were saying, you had your vision. I mean, in your head,
was
and
scary.
you walked that out. I remember that conversation. You walked that out, and when I thought, well, I don't know why you don't do it now. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
because you'd walked that out in your head. And I think being a leader and being able to own and open a business and doing it from scratch, which I had partners, thank God, but you know, it's a different ballgame when you're dealing with leaders who are business, because I think maybe it's God. I mean, I'll give glory to God. I mean, we're empowered to be the best we can be, and in doing that, you have to give back, because if you don't harvest, you'll never. I mean, if you don't plant, you'll never harvest. And this business is about harvesting. You have to harvest. I mean, you have to plant to harvest, and it's whether it's with your competitors or whether it's with your customers or whether it's with the community. You have to plant so you can harvest in this business.
Well, and I think too, like Renee said, there's enough for everybody.
Yeah.
There is, and it's about relationships too, and building relationships, and I love the fact that you reach back and help somebody else along the way. And I think that's a lot of times we get there and we forget what it was like to you know, start out, and it is very scary, and being a woman, it is a little even more intimidating, I feel like, to step out, you know, and have the support. And you know, a lot of times you'll hear, you know, women don't need to do that. You've got to run your family and your kids, and you can't add on anything else. But we are all doing it, you know, and we do it well.
Well, Angie, I've heard you say, and I've heard, and I've seen Renee do it. It's not about the transaction; it's about the relationship, and that's how. I mean, you know, it's
A
just
transaction's going to give you money, but a relationship's going to feed you for
Right.
a lifetime. So
yeah, in more ways than one.
in more ways than one.
Well, what a heartfelt conversation. I'm just over here listening. So we're going to wrap it up with one more question for each of you. Antonia, I'm going to ask you quickly, who is a female role model that inspires you?
So I'll say throughout my life, I watched my Aunt Jane Ebron, who was a co-owner of King's Packaging Company in Bremen and The Line, and I watched her, and we called it, her grandkids called her Grand Jane, because she was grand, and everything she did was amazing. Like, I just remember as a kid watching her, and, you know, and she went from being a, you know, answering the phone at King's Packaging Company to piloting the plane, to opening the golf course, to playing golf. I mean, anything she embraced, she just did it so well and such grace and everything. But I will tell you, the most generous woman I've ever met in my entire life. And I credit a lot of my success to her.
Awesome. Goodness. And Angie, I'm going to ask you this one. What advice do you have for women that are either looking to grow their own business or grow within the company they work for? What's one piece of advice that you would give them?
I would say go for it. Don't let fear hold you back. And it's scary, but you can do it scared, you know, and just do it. Just go after what you want, and don't let life end with those dreams still not pursued. And, you know, only thing you really have at the end is regret, and don't regret that you didn't try and
Yeah.
go for it. That's what I say. Just go for it. And you know what? Even if it doesn't work out, still go for it.
There's growth there.
Yeah.
Even if you try and it doesn't work, there's
Yeah.
growth
Yeah.
there.
Well, ladies, it has been a pleasure. I thank you very much for taking your time to talk with us today, and thanks for all you do, because you both are very involved in the community. My favorite Angie story is she literally joined the chamber and was throwing money at us to sponsor this and to do this, and she was a huge sponsor of the 5K last year, and I see PMG everywhere. They, you know, same thing, sponsoring and giving back to the community, and that just says a lot to me about business and business owners that give back to the place that they love and invest in. So thank you guys for choosing Haralson County and for all that you do in our community, and we look forward to seeing you grow even more.
Thank you for joining us. I think the things we can take away from this video is you have a group effort. It takes a group effort to get you to places sometimes, and just be nice and don't be scared to take a chance. Risk it. There's growth in the risk. You may not succeed, but if you don't, just try it again. Thank you.